Welcome to ARW. I'm Harold, and I'm finally back. The boss lady's showing signs of wanting to get around all independently, and I'm not needed as much. So we're going to do some workshop work. And I got this to show you. I bet you don't know what that is. That is the print head out of my Ender 3 printer. It should have a little nozzle here on the bottom, and this thing, I was printing a large piece, and I left it printing. I come back in the morning and I heard gritch, gritch, gritch. Normally what you hear is tweet, 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 you know, the thing moving back and forth. And I looked, and this had pushed the fan shroud off of it, and it was off the side of the build table, and everything was hung up, and you know, and terrible. So I unscrewed it and put on a new print head. So before we do anything else today, I'm going to see if I can possibly knock this plastic off the print head. Probably can't. I'm using a new kind of plastic that's PLA Pro Plus, and it's got different characteristics. If you can see this piece of borosilicate glass, this right here, that's a chip out of the glass. The piece I was printing on there stuck to it and lifted the glass right out of the surface, you know, and that's PLA Pro Plus that's on my print head. So things are different using that than they were before, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut it off. But what the video today is about is we're going to do some casting. I had way back there, probably 6 weeks ago, I printed up some little pieces, and I want to cast them in aluminum. And I've got, you know, stuff like this. This used to be shell casings from the shooting club. It was hard drive frames from old hard drives. It was scrap pieces of aluminum that were laying around on the floor here and there, and I consolidated it all into a couple of solid pieces. So that's what we're going to use. But in the meantime, let me set up and see if I can get this plastic off the print head. Let's see if I can make a little cut in it here with a hacksaw, and then maybe I can latch onto it with a chisel and knock the stuff on out of there. It's an odd shaped lump, so it doesn't want to set real good in here. At least it's cutting. Well, sort of. I guess the harder it gets under that hacksaw, the more sticky it's going to get, and the less it's going to cut. Let's see if I can take a chisel or something and bust it apart there. Probably can't. Chisel. Got a chisel now. I need a hammer. Hang on. Alright, we're going to go back at it with this chisel and see if it'll crack the plastic. Wow. We're not going to try this very long because, like I say, I already put a new print head on there, and the print heads aren't expensive, so I just want to see what it would do if I tried to knock it off. Now, that's not coming off. Let's throw it in the trash and get on with our casting. This is borosilicate glass. A lot of people use it on the heat bed, you know, the print bed of their 3D printers to give better adhesion and such. And that's where this has come from. I'm sure you can't tell it on the video, but that floor is nasty. Leaves and dirt and dead bugs blow in under the garage door. And I sweep it and I come back the next day and it's all there all over again. But I'm going to clean it up a little before we get started. Ordinarily, I take all that sand there and wet it and use a redneck muller to blend it all up. But since I'm making smaller things today, I'm going to just use that amount of sand over there that filled that little flask up, and we're going to let that be all the wet sand I have today. What we're going to make is these little guys right here. What are they? Well, they're going to be clips that go on little flasks like that. That's what they're going to be. They're going to have a hole in each end and a hole there. Screw them on and drop a pin through them. They'll align things and all that. But I got to make them first. So I'm going to let you rest while I sprinkle water on this and mull it around with my redneck mullers. Now, let's burn it off. Let's start over. All it takes is just one redneck to mess up the whole works. No, I'm not making it fine. I'm just dumping it in there. It's already getting hot in here. Enjoy that either. Alright, let's rake that off. Okay, that was just barely enough sand. So, you got her packed into there, and I'm ready to take it apart and start cutting over gates and stuff. And I think what I need to do is just level off this stuff here before I get to going on other things. There we go. That's probably a little bit better. So now then, I'm going to pull this guy out. Hopefully he won't cause a lot of trouble. There we go. And this part here, I'm going to make a little pouring basin out here. What I'll do is I'll just put out some of it like this. Mash it down nice and round there. I can cut some of that out. I think it'd work better if I just do it like this. Well, just pick it up. Well, come on. Pick it up, set it down over here. I need to get a spoon to clean things out. I should have thought of that. I'll be back. Now, like I said, I didn't drill any holes in this for screws to pull it out. It's so thin already. But I think use this tape to pull them out of there. I don't know if I can. That one didn't work. Got too much powder on it. Alright, try another one. Worst comes to worst, I have to come over here and drill a hole in it. Get them out with. That one came out. So alright. Another piece of tape. Too powdery. Alright. Another one out. It's working. And keep everything in good shape all the way up to the metal form. It'd be a wonderful one. Alright. It came right out just like he was dying to go. Let's see if it'll work twice. No. Yeah, a piece of tape. There we go, that's all four removed. Lean it over and let the dirt fall out. Clean and ready to go. A is down here, here. So, this guy. There, and ease him down. Now then, now then all we got to do is melt the aluminum. Piece of cake. Let's get on it. Alright, I put the freshly made crucible in there first, and then I put the homemade tin can crucible in there second. Right out in the middle there. So should be able to have more than enough aluminum for that tiny little bit, and if I have extra I can pour it up in something. I'll look around for something to pour it up in while we're working on it. And get the temperature set for 1400, which is well above the melting point of aluminium or aluminum, and we're going to crank it up to that, and I'm going to let it sit like that for maybe an hour. Make sure it's all melted, and then we'll pour. Let's go for it. Temperature will start ramping up any minute now. You guys can take a break while this thing's heating up. It'll take a little while to get there. Not long, but a little while. This is a piece of slag that I had left over from melting the aluminum shell casings. I never had that much slag in one spot in my whole life, but there it was. It filled the little crucible up. It's all melted now. pretty good. Now then, while I clean up this mess and you guys are at the end of the video and all, you could go over there and like and subscribe, give me, you know, all the thumbs up and stuff, and leave a comment. I love comments. And yeah, why not? If you're not subscribed, do it. Do it right now. Alright? Now, I'm going to let it cool a couple more minutes, then I'm going to break it out into that big box of sand there. And you viewers are lucky. While I'm cleaning this stuff up and sweeping up the floor and putting it all away, you can go click on another video. You can go watch, you know, Chuck or Keith Rucker or who knows who, you know, while I'm doing all this work. Now let's dump this into here and break it loose. And of course it's still hot, so I need to get my pliers to pick it up with. That. I think that's going to do the job, because those are the shapes that I wanted to cast, and there they are. What do you think of that? You guys like that? Alright, there's the results for our labors. I'll have to clean it up some, of course, and trim it straight and square with the milling machine, but that's another video. Let's go see about Bubba or Ole or some other colorful character. Alright, Thibodeau, you know, he lives down near the swamp there in Louisiana. You know, living near the swamp, you hadn't got all those city conveniences like running water and such. Well, his wife Marie there, you know, one day she sent her little boy, you know, Thibaut, down to the pond to get some water, you know, for cooking dinner. And see, he was down there dipping that bucket in, and he saw two big old eyes looking right out of the top of that water at him, and he dropped that bucket and tore out running back to the house. He went in and saw his mama, you know, and she says, Thibaut, where's my bucket of water? And he says, Mama, he says, I can't get any water. He says, there's a big old alligator down there in that pond. And his mom said, oh, T, that gator's been there for years. He ain't never hurt anybody. She says, well, he's probably more scared of you than you are of him. And T looks at her and says, well then, Mama, he says, I'll tell you one thing. He says, if he's more scared of me than I am of him, that water ain't fit to drink.